Bishop, nice to see you again. Pope Francis has been talking a lot lately about inclusiveness, and he's saying that maybe those of us in the church should not be hung up so much on philosophical debates. We should just get out there and be church. Is this a new outlook on how to be a church?
Well, I think it's a different approach in a certain sense. I think the church has always tried to be inclusive, but I think the Holy Father's emphasis on going at the periphery, as he says, going to the outskirts of society, or at least where the church is not seen or not playing a major role, it makes a lot of sense. As he says, the church should be a field hospital for the wounded, looking to people to bring them the message of the gospel. Now, I think some people will be insulted. I'm wounded? Oh, I'm not wounded. I'm just not interested. So we've got to be careful how we do that. I mean, his image is a good one for us, but how we portray it to other people has to be carefully said, because it can be also insulting. But he's trying to move us out of the present categories, the present ways of doing things. That's the new evangelization, new methods. And that's John Paul II started that really clearly, saying that, and even before. So, and we're re-emphasizing the outreach of the church. I mean, one of the things we're doing now in the diocese, which is brand new, is the San Damiano mission, where we're reaching out in Williamsburg to the young people there, whatever name you want to call them, but they're all young people from someplace else. We have 2 Franciscan brothers now that are initiating the mission, and we're going to have an opening of that soon. But we see that's an outreach. That's reaching out to people that basically were not being served before, who were not in the structures of the church that they could relate to, the parishes that are there. So this is an opportunity on our side to do something different.
So San Damiano mission, is that an actual place? Do you have a site?
It'll be at Holy Family Church on Nassau Street in Williamsburg. That'll the church they'll be using. There'll be a priest who on Sunday night celebrates Mass for them. Usually these people are Sunday nighters, so they're not up early in the morning except for brunch on Sunday. So we're trying to reach their culture, the way they live, to see how we can deal with them better.
Is the Holy Father trying to break down barriers? Say, like, when we think of the gay community, we think of there's a barrier between the gay community and the church. When we've been at loggerheads, is he trying to break them down and say, let's just forget about those things and talk with
saying,
one another?
You know, we have to, the old saying, you know, you hate the sin and love the sinner. Well, that's kind of crass, but the point is, everybody's important. Everybody has a spiritual need, and no matter what circumstances they find themselves in. He said once, "Who am I to judge?" Well, we don't judge people, but we take them where they're at and try to bring them someplace else. Doesn't mean we condone a different lifestyle if we're going to deal with them. I mean, and Jesus himself, I mean, he was criticized because he ate with the sinners and the Pharisees, people that were considered unclean by the Jewish people. So I think that's clearly an evangelical step to greet everyone, to work with everyone. And there is a point where we judge, as Jesus did to the sinful woman. It says, "Go and sin no more." He defended her from being stoned to death. But he did say, well, this is the point of change in your life. So again, we've got to be careful how we bring our values, and they are values and they are teachings that are not made up yesterday, a long-standing understanding of morality, and how can we make people understand why we believe this. So our philosophical background, the debates, you know, they're behind the scenes, but there is a point when if somebody's asking you, is this right or wrong? Well, I have to tell you, objectively, it's right or it's wrong. Subjectively, we don't know your disposition, your history. That's a different case.
Is he saying that maybe we should be slow on issuing sanctions? Like sometimes.
Yes, I think so. I think he would say, you know, the idea of sanctions and excommunications, and it doesn't fit our modern way of thinking, nor is it effective.
Some people are afraid maybe it's going to be watered down what we believe, our doctrines and our doctrines.
Well, we have to be careful of that, but it's an approach. It's not a change. It's what you emphasize.
And you see it as all as part of the new evangelization?
I think so, very, very much so.
Good. Bishop, thank you so much.
Okay.